Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. And if you are a bigot, well, that is a terrible character flaw. Well, hokey smokes. I am going to let my arm just rest now. It hurts. My back and my neck don't feel terrible on that side, but from here just on down, just aches so much. And the thing is, again, just because it aches, there's no injury. That's just the nerve compression. I mean, there's injury in that the bone growth is squishing the nerve, but it's because of the squished nerve that it feels like it's so sore. It's not really. There's no injury. There's no reason for it to feel that way other than there is squishing of the sensory nerve, so it feels sore. You gotta love life. But past that, yeah, it does not feel like I have daggers on my back yet. I have to be careful. But my arms are sore. But part of that is I've been pretty active today. I had to take a shower. I wasn't planning on taking a shower. I now take a shower every other day. Because as you get older, well, one of the reasons, as you get older, you should not bathe every day. It's bad for your skin. I mean, it's bad for your skin no matter what age you are. You really should not use soap and chemicals on your skin every single day in the shower. That is very harsh, drying, and more. But I was going to have a non-shower day, wash myself over there next to my sink with wash rags. Lately, I have been eating some food and then getting dressed. Normally, I would get dressed and then eat food. So, yeah, I'm just sitting around in my underwear, watching videos and then eating some food. And then when I'm done, then I go over there, wash myself up, get dressed. It's a good thing I did that today because I only ruined one piece of clothing and then had to take a shower because I like spicy foods. Love spicy foods. Doesn't help on the whole GERD department because, oh boy, I mean, spicy stuff is good for you. It does help kill the bacteria that cause ulcers. So that's a good thing. But it does not help if you've got stomach acids coming up. So I open up a can of very spicy chili. And I smack it with my hand as I'm bringing my hand up in this direction. And the chili swings in my direction and splap. There's chili onto the shirt I'm wearing. And then splap. There's chili on my bare thigh. I wiped myself off. That wasn't hard. It was just, I don't like food any place that food shouldn't be, like it belongs inside your mouth or on a plate. It's not supposed to be like smeared on your thigh because you spilled some out of a chili can. So I cleaned myself up. But capsaicin is an oil, so unless you use soap, you're not going to get it off your skin. And we have capsaicin receptors everywhere on our bodies. And the skin on your thighs is usually not as thick and strong as the skin out here on the parts of our bodies that interact most with the world. It started to burn. And while I like the burn of spicy foods in my mouth, I don't like the burn of spicy foods on my thigh. So yeah, it was chemicals time. So I went in and took a shower, and oh boy, that is just, now that's a hurting. Using my arm there, and it was like a knife. I was going to say things had been going pretty good. And up until I was taking a shower, they were feeling pretty good. But things are not feeling good right now. I'm going to have to continue taking it super easy, which is so boring. Ugh. I want to go out and do things, but even walking stresses out my arm because you have to swing your arms to walk or hang it in your, dangle, put your hand in your pocket to keep it from swinging. But even that, different way it's being held, different stressors, so it can hurt and get damaged that way. It is a pain having this happen. I really wish it hadn't. So if you've been in an automobile accident, make sure, well, it's going to be a long time before any effects show up. So 20 years from now, let's hope that if you were in an automobile accident, you're not going to have the same issues that I'm having. Yay on that. Now, I don't have a whole lot up here, but there was a goofy video. I like watching MK videos, which is, they do Reddit and Tumblr and Twitter and all those selected readings, and they have various voice actor types that do that. And one of them was just going through the various memes and collections, and one of them was a picture out in the wild of a sign on a sign, well, of course it was on a signpost, on a fence post that said, "Warning, this property protected by fire ants." And it's like, yeah, that's one of the very few warnings that I would take incredibly seriously. I mean, most of them are, unless they explicitly say, you come on this property, we don't give warning shots. That is definitely stuff that I'm going to take very seriously. But if it's out someplace where, they're not trying to kill you if you step on their property, then that is a sign that you don't mess with fire ants. You don't. So, now, how much else do I have up here? Well, the only real other thing that I wanted to talk about, other than leading into my creative stuff, was I actually picked up for Swords and Wizardry White Box, which is really weird because if you try and find Swords and Wizardry on like drive-through RPG, unless you type in the specific name of the product, it just doesn't come up. And that's weird, but it's like $20 to get the thing, and I don't want to be spending $20 for something when I've already got White Box, which is a hack of Swords and Wizardry White Box, which is basically just White Box but cheaper. But I did pick up some zombie things for it. Primarily pay what you want, and pay what you want is up to $0 or free. And I think one or two of them I had to pay for, but even at that, it's like maybe 99 cents. There's a lot of products on Drive-Thru RPG that can be insanely cheap, as well as I love Alex T of Black Oath Entertainment, who does like Kernathalis and all that. Love his stuff, but I pick it up so slowly because it's like $15-20 per shot. Other places, I mean, I understand why he charges that, but other people selling stuff will sell stuff just as big, but cheaper. And so as much as I want to get that Alex T stuff, I could get 3 things for what it costs to get one of his. So there's a lot of his stuff on my wish list. While I saw White Box Zombies, and it was either free or 99 cents or some ridiculous price. Saw it, bought it. Sale made. Maybe cheap, maybe they only got a couple pennies, but boom, sale made. Whereas that Alex T stuff, it's gonna be slow work. I mean, I got Kern Nathalis. I did that. I got a couple things he's done. So I don't not. It's just takes time. But this White Box Zombie stuff, oh, almost deceptive advertising when you call up the page that talks about it, the store page for the product that I am kind of disappointed about, because it advertises rules and ways to move a zombie, or actual zombie apocalypse, like the zombies that you see in contemporary movies, into your white box fantasy stuff. And I was like, hey, that's a cheap price. Picked it up. The rules for how to put zombies into your game, yeah, they're pretty big in large text on the one page with an illustration that they take, where if you put the text down, I mean, I got old eyes and it's hard for me to see things anyway. And I want to crank the font down because it's insanely huge. It's like a paragraph or 2 effectively of text on rules for zombies. And then the rest of the pages are just, oh, the groaner zombie, a crawler zombie, a runner zombie. And so all in all, it was kind of disappointing. But even if it had been $3-4, that's not a big loss. So I'm disappointed but not heartbroken over it. But at the same time, one of the reasons that I've printed out and don't have here, I should have thought of that, I've been getting white box stuff together, is I mentioned to my med manager I am feeling a lot different about things. Now that we're away from the holidays, things are getting light outside. I'm past the anniversary of the death of my wife. I've become interested in things and reading them. I, with White Box, did the hard part of it. I need to finish up. But I rolled the dice and made up 4 different characters for White Box fantasy medieval adventure game. Good golly, Miss Molly. Trying to separate things with my nerve impeded hands. But I got 4 characters that I've rolled up. I just need to get the equipment to put on them, and they're done. They're not difficult to make. And even though they're written on cards, and even though they make character sheets, even in the book, they just say, oh, if you want to make up, put your characters on index cards with your stats on one side and your equipment on the other. That's the way I started off making characters for 5th edition Tunnels and Trolls back in 1983. Thumbs up. So, yeah, I'm about ready to get characters running through stuff. I've got the character of Danthel, a young Habani, and Connor, a young Goya, that are friends that go out and adventure together. I want to bring them through some things. I've got, once again, Note Quest Expanded World out. I want to try messing around with some of the characters and monster types. Maybe lower their hostility a little so that some of the monsters don't wham you for like 10 points of damage every single round. Maybe crank them down a little. See how that works. So who knows how that'll all work. I still will be showing this off using the digital stuff that you can find online. So thumbs up. I mean, for like map makers, quest stuff, but the character sheets, online, so that, well, when I say online, on screen, so that you can see what's going on that way. Do my very best, of course. And of course, this is all going to have to subside some. Thumbs up for that. Anything else up on that list? Not really, no. The only other thing I've got here is, well, it's still for my solo RPG stuff. I'd mentioned yesterday how I'd wanted to have from a different continent. And when I say different continent, the main body of the continent of Karthkog in this solo RPG setting is made up of 3 smaller continents that during the 5 million years since the Australopithecine type beginnings of the intelligent races now and the war that has drastically changed the face of the planet to the face of the planet now, where all these intelligent races are now interacting with themselves, each other, and the world. A lot of stuff happened, and on either a different continent or one of these smaller subcontinents that gets smashed together, all of the megafauna gets taken out, which leaves a power vacuum for any of the other races. Now, in our world, many rodents, not all by far, but closer to, the mouse and rat family, are much more social. And in fact, rats are incredibly social, highly intelligent, love play, etc., etc. They are amazing creatures, actually. I figure while there's not exactly rats at that time, a rat-like social creature filled that power vacuum, so that now there is a social rodent-like species out there that is doing stuff. How would they look? Well, we have incredibly primate, of course we have primate faces, we are primates. Our faces are still very gorilla / chimp / monkey like. So a race that is descended from a rodent-like race would mice most likely still have a very rodent-like structure adapted for speech and the like, but still probably more snout-like, etc., etc. But they would be a very friendly type of, when I say friendly, I don't mean friendly like the humans are and the Dwaylen are when they meet up with the Hulat on Karthkog. They're going there with a there is, of course, the strong us versus them that races would have, because it's still a world of resource competition. Us versus them for survival. But laid on top of that is a heavy blanket of us and them, making sure that everyone survives the winter, not just your tribe, but the tribe down the, on the other side of the forest, other side of the wherever, down the path is what I'm trying to say. Us and them. Not just, oh, make sure we have all the resources so that they have no resources, so that we know we survive and we don't care if they don't. No, it's we need to make sure they survive too. And every race has that on the planet, not just one or two. So, yeah, there's going to be that when they and others start to meet. Now, the Hulat, the Habani, Orkani, and Apani, they have been spreading downward across the entire upper continent of Karthkog since they were not originally from the main body of the continent of Karthkog. They came from a smaller subcontinent, still part of it, but separated by geography and very awful energies that kept them trapped there until 1200 years ago when they were able to leave the subcontinent and enter the main body continent, and they've been spreading southward over the last 1200 years. I figure either if they are a different continent, they would be on the water, they would come across on craft of some type, could be meeting up with the Hulat on that side of the continent, just as on this side of the continent, they're meeting up with the Dwaylen and the Goya. But that's a full continent side away. So how they're dealing with things over there would be largely the same, but very different in implementation, since there's an entire continent between the two coasts. And these, while they are a very intelligent people that have messengers that, you can travel from this village to this village, and they can send someone from there over to the end over here, and then from there someone can go even further. Eventually you get messengers that can stretch from one side of the continent to the other, but that's incredibly dangerous and takes a very long time. So, because they don't have tech, there's not really going to be a lot of fast communication. Now, as for technology, the Dwaylen, the most advanced of the people that I speak of on this setting, they and the functional equivalent of dwarves are starting to experiment with steam. And they're trying to invent rail without knowing that's what they're shooting for. So there is the beginnings of actual tech a-starting. They are not stuck in a feudal type situation, which they're not anyway. Call it medieval instead. Situation forever. I try to make these things a living settings, and that something that happens now that you're talking about will have implications downstream. So downstream, try to deal with that. So it's a whole big stretch, a living situation. And of course, very late into this, call to action. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up from me. And if you are a patron, thumbs up and thank you. You are beautiful and awesome, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And if you've left me a comment at any time, you are beautiful and awesome in your own way. Thumbs up and thank you. I read every comment that I can. Thumbs up or heart every comment that I can, and answer as many comments as my nerve compression will let me. Yay on that. And I forgot yesterday to do a secret word, and today I have absolutely nothing here. So how about just if you could type box in the comments to let both me and the YouTube algorithm know that people watch the videos, and to play the Marco Polo game. That would be very cool. I believe a couple people still try when I fail and to put down words. I know Big Fart 275 does. One of them was typing ambiwave when I forgot to write something down as the secret word. But here we have box. Thank you very much. Oh, I had to bite my tongue. I was going to make a very, very inappropriate joke, so about the term white box. I'm not going to. Oh, that was painful, but I stopped myself. I am still tasteful. Thumbs up for that. So anyway, I'm going to take care of myself as best I can. On Thursday, 8 o'clock in the morning, so I got to be there early, is my cardiac stress test down at the hospital. So I got to call up my therapist and let him know I'm not going to be there on Thursday for therapy. Yay. And it's not going to be, dangerous or anything, but they need to check things out, and that's good. Yay. And so today, I'm just going to take care of myself best I can, continue to not stress out my nerves as best I can. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. And if you cannot, please do not beat yourself up. That does not help. It does not help at all. And you deserve better. So, but I gotta use it. It's use it or lose it. So, yesterday, my fingers were actually feeling better. Today, they really hurt. So, my nerve is really just irate. Yay. Anyway, though, so until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Is this the first time I've said that, or am I repeating myself? I can't remember. ADHD brain, and just pain doesn't help things. And there's just been more pain than I like in the last couple of days. And I don't like any pain. I'm not one of those that enjoys it. So, joy on that. Oh, anyway, gotta use my mouse, so click there. And now I'm gonna click the stop button.